Okay. Well, good evening, everyone. We can begin the hearing at this time. I am Jessie McBride with the Office of External Affairs, and I'll be serving as your hearing moderator for the State of Tennessee's Department of Environment and Conservation's Division of Mineral and Geologic Resources public hearing. So please note, this public hearing will be using a hybrid approach, which gives the public two options to participate, including an option for in-person participation located close to the facility requesting a permit, as well as remote participation by the Microsoft Teams application. This public hearing will consider comments regarding the proposed issuance of a National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System, NPDES permit, to Rogers Group, Inc. for the discharge of water from a new limestone extraction and processing facility in Warren County, Tennessee. The permit applicant is Rogers Group, Inc. The facility name is Dibble Quarry. The NPDES permit is TN0070740 draft, and the county is Warren County. Please be aware that this is a formal public hearing. The hearing will be conducted in accordance with state and federal regulations. As the presiding officer, I am responsible for the orderly conduct of those participating in this hearing. An informal open house meeting for the public was held from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. earlier this evening. The informal meeting included information booths and a question and answer period with technical staff. This is a proposed new NPDES permit. The NPDES
If you want to use that. Sorry for the difficulties.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello.
Still in? All right. Let's try.
Hello.
All right.
I did. I broke it.
We've got a backup. Hold on just one moment, folks.
Hey. Okay, can you guys hear me again?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
we're back on. All right. So this is a proposed new NPDES permit. The NPDES permit is for the discharge of treated mine wastewater and stormwater from a limestone extraction and processing facility. The NPDES permit only regulates the quality of water to be discharged from the facility and does not regulate other aspects of the project, such as noise, dust, truck traffic, blasting, or zoning. The water quality permit does not determine whether a facility is considered a quarry for the purposes of zoning, nor does it determine whether an operation is of a commercial nature. The NPDES permit area consists of 151.8 acres. Mine, wastewater, and stormwater will be treated in settling ponds prior to discharging at outfalls 001, 002, 003, or 004. Outfalls 001, 002, and 003 will discharge to an unnamed tributary to Mountain Creek, and 004 will discharge to Bluff Springs Branch. The sediment control structures and all appropriate best management practices, BMPs, meet or exceed the division's design criteria. The application asserts the proposed activity will only cause de minimis degradation of parameters that are available and will not cause degradation of parameters that are unavailable. The NPDES permit is proposed to be issued for a 5-year term. The permittee must maintain NPDES permit coverage until all termination requirements of the NPDES permit are satisfied. This is a formal public hearing in which the division will receive comments for the hearing record. This is not a town hall meeting or an open forum. Staff cannot answer questions during the formal hearing. All questions or comments received during the formal public hearing will be responded to in writing in the division's formal notice of determination and response to comments. The division only has regulatory authority over water quality related issues and to the terms, conditions, and requirements of the draft permit. The division does not have jurisdiction over such issues as blasting, noise, dust, local zoning, and planning, definition of a quarry for the purposes of zoning, and truck traffic. Please limit all comments to 5 minutes or less. The division will also accept written comments for the public hearing record through February 9th, 2026. These comments may include documents, photos, etc. Written comments are given the same weight as oral testimony and should be emailed to dmgr.publicnotice@tn.gov or by mail to the TDEC Mining Section at 3711 Middlebrook Pike, Suite 101, Knoxville, Tennessee 37921. TDEC needs your contact information in order to send you the permit decision, response to comments, and the notice of determination. If you are attending the meeting via Teams, please provide your full name and email address or mailing address to dmgr.publicnotice@tn.gov or contact us at 865-606-1746 before February 9th, 2026. If you are attending the meeting in person, please make sure that you have signed in at the table in the back of the room. Providing us your name during the hearing ensures your attendance at the public hearing is recorded for the purpose of securing appeal rights. Is anyone attending? Okay. For those attending the hearing via Teams, these are the participation options available to you. The text bubble will open the chat box. Here you can ask TDEC personnel for technical help, request to verbally comment, or submit a written comment. The hand will raise a hand alerting TDEC personnel that you would like to talk or need help. The microphone button will mute and unmute the audio from your speaker. The red leave button will exit the meeting. You will be able to re-enter at any time. All virtual participants will be muted upon joining the meeting. For those calling in by phone, you may mute or unmute yourself by pressing *6. For computer users, you may mute or unmute by pressing the microphone button. Now, let me describe how we will proceed. We will compile a list of people wanting to comment, then call on all commenters by name. Additionally, at the end of the hearing, we will have a final opportunity for anyone to comment who has not yet done so. If you are attending the meeting in person, we have your attendance cards indicating if you wish to speak. If you are using the Teams app, please use the raise hand icon or request a comment using the chat feature. If you have called in by phone, please unmute yourself, tell us your name, then remute yourself until your name is called. We will take a short pause to compile all the names.
Nobody online.
Okay. We will now call on in-person attendees who indicated on their sign-in cards that they wish to provide comments during the hearing. Steve Glenn.
My name is Steve Glenn. I'm the 11th District Commissioner, which is Rockport is going into. What steps are your company going to take concerning wiring her on the roads? The big trucks will be traveling in and out each day. How many times will you be on the road in one day? Who has, and I know y'all got, who has approved your liability insurance? The last thing I have to say is the presence of a soon-to-be federal listed crayfish from Mountain Creek being considered in any capacity. One more thing. I don't know what this world's coming to, but we do not consider family communities anymore. Just take it and do it. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comment. Jamie Chris Gothrow.
Good evening. My name is Jamie Gothrow and I live on Roy Foster Road. My comments on this permit application are limited to water and water quality. The draft permit authorizes discharges from the proposed dipple quarry to an unnamed tributary to Mountain Creek as identified in Part 1A and Part 2 of the permit. My property abuts Mountain Creek near this receiving tributary. My primary concern is that the permit evaluates compliance almost exclusively at the outfall locations described in Part 1A without any monitoring or analysis within Mountain Creek itself. Under 40 CFAR Section 122.44D, the permit must ensure that water quality standards are met at the receiving water, not merely at the discharge pipe. The permit also relies heavily on best management practices for sediment control as described in Part 3, without enforceable numeric limits or storm event-specific requirements sufficient to protect downstream waters. Sediment is a pollutant under the Clean Water Act, and the permit does not demonstrate that sediment discharges will not degrade Mountain Creek. In addition, the permit does not evaluate or limit discharge volume or velocity, nor does it assess the potential for channel erosion or stream instability in the unnamed tributary or Mountain Creek. Alteration of the stream hydrology is a form of water quality degradation that is not addressed in the permit. Finally, the draft permit contains no anti-degradation analysis demonstrating that existing uses of Mountain Creek will be maintained as required by 40 CFAR Section 131.12 and Tennessee Rule 0400-40-03-.06. Because the permit fails to demonstrate protection of Mountain Creek, relies on non-enforceable sediment controls, omits hydrologic impact analysis, and lacks an anti-degradation determination, I respectfully request that this permit be denied. The NPDES program exists to prevent water quality degradation before it occurs. This permit does not meet that standard. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Brian Carr.
That's
You don't want to say anything? Okay. At this point, we have heard from all attendees who indicated that they wish to provide comments. Is there anyone else on Teams, on the phone, or in person who would like to provide comment? Okay. We will review all your comments, oral and written, and make our decision. Based on the comments and evaluation, we can issue, modify, revise, extend the hearing, or deny the application. We can also ask for additional information and data from the applicant, if needed, to complete the decision process. A copy of our permit decision, response to comments, and the notice of determination will be mailed or emailed to those in our record of attendance and will also be uploaded to TDEC's public data viewer. As a reminder, TDEC needs your contact information in order to send you the permit decision, response to comments, and the notice of determination. If you are attending the meeting via Teams, please provide your full name and email address or mailing address to dmgr.publicnotice@tn.gov or contact us at 865-606-1746 by February 9th, 2026. We are putting this information into the chat box. Please do not place your contact information in the chat box, as the chat is visible to all participants. If you are attending the meeting in person, please make sure you have signed in. Providing us your name during the hearing ensures your attendance at the public hearing is recorded for the purpose of securing appeal rights. For your reference, this presentation, the draft permit, application, and all relevant materials are available to view, download, and print from the TDEC Division of Mineral and Geologic Resources Data Viewer under permit TN0070740. The recording of this hearing will also be provided. We will wrap up tonight's hearing. Remember, you may submit written comments through February 9th, 2026. Written comments should be sent to the Division of Mineral and Geologic Resources, 3711 Middlebrook Pike, Suite 101, Knoxville, Tennessee, 37921. You may also email your comments to dmgr.publicnotice@tn.gov. All comments received by the deadline will be reviewed by the division in order to make the best possible permit decision. If you have additional questions, contact Caleb Mackey at 865-227-8652 or caleb.mackey@tn.gov. Public participation is an important part of the environmental permitting process, and we appreciate your interest in protecting our shared environment. Thank you for attending the hearing, and have a great night.
All right, guys. Sorry, I'm trying to push this back just a little bit. Hey, guys, this is Brian Carr with 1first931. What you just saw was one of the things that it's one of the hoops that they have to jump through. We'll talk about a lot of this tomorrow. Guys, this is my first ever that I've ever been to. And guys, I'm no conservation or geological expert, but what this information was for tonight was to let people know where you can find the resources for this. We'll talk more about the things that will be going on in the upcoming dates. But one of the great things that we were able to find is, and I'm going to share this with you guys. We're going to add this to stage here. And this right here is the actual paperwork for tonight. Now, I'm going to share this one. We're going to share this because if you go to the Tennessee Department of Environmental Conservation, they have different types. Like you'll see air quality hearings, energy hearings. You got mineral and geological hearings, and that's what tonight's was. So if you go down to public participation opportunities, you can find where it was, and there was a meeting link. Now, guys, I hate to tell you this in retrospect because this is one of the things that no one has told us about. One of the things that I don't think even our county commissioners knew about. So this is uncharted territory for a lot of us. And so we want to make sure that we get you the information. And again, I apologize. I wish we could have given it to you beforehand so you could have more of an informed response, but we still have more things to go. And if you want to make statements, you can make statements up to, like I said, February 9th. But with the state, but this is all. So this was the public hearing the information session. They had tables in the back with information, and we'll be going over this on tomorrow's show with Kelly and Brian on One First 931 podcast. With we're about 9ish tomorrow. Depends on where we are, but we're going to go through this Tennessee Department of Conservation frequently asked questions. So these are things that you'll want to know. So we'll let you guys know what they said on from here. They also have a PowerPoint. We've got all PowerPoints now. There wasn't much to the PowerPoint because they were not answering public questions. You could come here and talk to the folks, and they'll give you the resources to find these things. So another one of the things is this was solely for geologic, and one of the things that we do see in the permit. So I'm going to go back to the permit now, and we're going to share this instead. Let me make sure it's on for you guys. All right. So one of the things that you'll see in this permit, it's for crushed and broken limestone. Okay, so that's what they're mining for. So we finally got this stuff. Now, you can find this through the state. I don't know when this actually came out. Let's see if it's got any dates on it or anything like that. This is for the Harold Martin property on Roy Foster Road. I'm not seeing notice of hearing that came out. So this hearing came out on December 26, 2025. Well, several of our county commissioners have showed me that they just found out about this just the other day, and so this has been planned for a while now. They've got other dates of when that this stuff started going, and so you can see these filed status and mailed dates on here. So there's a lot of information that we all need to be looking for. We'll try to get someone who's more informed, but the young lady who was speaking, that was Miss Jessie McBride. She handles the public relations side of things. She is the regional director of external affairs. So we'll get with her office and see what we can do about interviewing somebody with credentials that can give us more information on this. I know a lot of you guys have questions. Feel free to write them in the comments. We'll do our best to get these things answered, find the experts. But again, we didn't know much about this until just the other day. So, and again, this is a first time for pretty much everybody here in this room, except the folks in blue shirts, this is their job. So we'll try to get you more information. Several of the county commissioners that especially both in District 11, which is Mr. Michael Bell and Mr. Stevie Glenn, were here. Another person who's in the running for this upcoming election is Mr. Tyler Simmons. He was here, and Terry Bell, County Executive Terry Bell, was here. He's actually speaking with a lot of these folks. I mean, this is his house, naturally so. And then we have people like our good friend J.C. Pettit, who is here, and even we have a Democratic chairman, Mr. Justin Moore. He was here, and several other concerned citizens. That's just some of the people in government that were here. But this is pretty important stuff. And again, guys, we'll try to figure out more and let you guys know what we can do. But to answer Paul Kring's question, what are we mining for? Looks from the permit details, it says crushed limestone. So that's what they're looking for. Another comment that people had was this affects everybody. I mean, because this is affecting our whole water table. And one of the comments that was made back in with the folks, the experts back here for the information session, is they encourage anybody who's in that area to go ahead and get your water tested now, so you know what it's like before drilling. Now it's up to the Rogers Group to test it. They're going to be testing twice a month, or actually 4 times a month, with 2 tests in the front of the month and in the middle of the month, so they can make sure that everything's consistent. Not just 1 test, but 2 tests to make sure. But we'd love to have somebody from the Rogers Group come on board and answer questions for the community, because I'm sure there's a slew of questions. And guys, I they asked. I put down that I may speak, but there was nothing for me to do. It's not asking questions. This was not a question and answer. This was a public statement. I really have no public statements other than I need to learn more about this. And so do you. So this is what we're doing. We're going to try to grow through this together, but learn more about this stuff. So we're going to have questions. Please don't hesitate to submit them to us or go online. There are links to this. There are more places that you can go, and we'll show you more about this. But thank you for joining us tonight. I'm going to go ahead and break this down. But again, join us tomorrow for tomorrow's podcast. We should be on about 9 o'clock in the morning. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to talk about the big news that happened today with our good friends at the detention selling their property to a new group. And we got to let you guys know what the new group is and a little more about them, because a lot of people aren't familiar with Orthodox Christians in this part of the country. You guys have been around for a long time. They've been around a lot longer than a lot of other churches have. So, hey, we'll answer more of your questions. We'll try to learn and grow together. But hey, guys, you can be a blessing or a curse, but always keep it first. Good night.